Now, if you have a pet, here's a tale to get your dog's tail wagging. I'm a bit distracted, actually, because I've got Molly sat right next to me here, very nonchalantly, with her kind of paw on the table. Looks like she's just about to read the lead-in. She'd probably do a better job than I would.
Molly, you can have a go.
The reason you've come in this morning, welcome.
Welcome, thank you.
The reason you come in this morning, because they're relaxing the rules on how and where dogs can travel. So just explain what's changing.
Okay, what's changing is the need to have a rabies jab, in a nutshell. So that the current scheme at the moment means that before you travel, you have to have a rabies jab 6 months before you plan to go abroad. And recently, Joanne Good and I, my radio co-host for the radio show that we present called Barking at the Moon, dedicated dog slot, we wanted to see if it was possible to go to Paris for a long weekend with the current scheme. Okay, which means that you have to adhere to a very tight window of opportunity to have the treatments administered to your dog before you re-enter the UK. And this window currently is a maximum of 48 hours before your check-in time for your Eurostar train or your ferry or whatever, but no less than 24 hours. So if you're going for a long weekend and only 3 days, that will basically mean that you have to be prepared to spend a day at the vets.
So I'm really confused. I haven't travelled with pets, so you have to get what certificates, which you've got in the passport.
Yes,
here.
That's Molly's passport there with her lovely little photo.
Yeah, her lovely photo. And then certificates which have to be signed, in France or wherever you've gone to?
That's right, by a vet no more than 48 hours before you return into the UK and no less than 24 hours. So there's this specific window. Now, apparently now, with the relaxation of the vaccines, this is hopefully going to become more flexible. But certainly now, relaxing the rabies rules means that when you don't have to plan your holiday a year in advance with your dog, now you will only have 3 weeks to plan your trip, and so you've got a lot more flexibility, and potentially owners can travel with their dogs a lot easier.
Now, as we all have a look at Molly's passport photo, which I think you see there, was that done in a booth? How does that work?
That was actually done in Harrods at the launch of their pet spa, and she is looking rather grand with a rather snazzy matching collar and lead ensemble. I must say,
have to be of certain sort of, like adult passport, human passports.
Yes, yes.
Do they have to be a specific sort of size?
Yeah, absolutely. I had to cut that to fit a dotted line, actually, that you can't see because I've got the picture just fitting.
Now, there's something obviously a little bit comic about this, but people will be thinking maybe there was a reason why we had so many restrictions. Well, why relax it?
Well, apparently, during all the time when we had the initial quarantine rules, before the pet passport scheme, during the whole time of the quarantine rules, where dogs had to go into kennels and be in isolation, there wasn't any outbreaks of rabies in the whole time the quarantine rules were there. So that basically then led to the passport scheme being introduced, and using a typical kind of vaccine solution, like if we were to go to India, you had to have your cholera and your typhoid jabs. Same type of solution really with the rabies vaccine, so that Molly is now immune to rabies. Okay. So yeah,
I'm interested because I know you do a programme about dogs and all the rest of it. How many people want to travel with their pets, and is it quite a problem for people who are trying to do this?
Well, apparently the recent figures in the papers this week do say that only 100,000 people have used the pet passport scheme, and when you consider that there are over 8 million dogs living in the UK at the moment, that's a very, very small amount of people optimising the scheme, which is a great shame. And perhaps people are becoming a little bit intimidated about, because there is this window of opportunity that you have to maximise. And also, when we were at passport control at Calais, it was really quite awful. There was a family there with their Labrador that was being refused entry back into the UK because the vet that they'd just been to see had omitted to countersign his worm treatment. So they're very strict. So this poor family were having a real hoo-ha and potentially having a holiday ruined.
Oh, I want to know, I wonder, just really quickly, where would be your dream holiday you could take Molly to?
Our dream holiday, Molly? Well, we'll never go on an aeroplane because I think that's a bit scary for dogs. So
I've been on a plane with a dog.
Yes, you mentioned, yeah. And
sat in, I heard briefly to I heard a noise. Oh, sorry. But I heard this noise in the plane. I thought that sounds like a dog, and sure enough,
what airline was that?
I wish I could remember now. But it was in a cage, sat on a seat.
On the actual, but in the cabin. Yeah, because that would be the only way I'd go with Molly. I'd never put her in the hold.
Molly is a very relaxed dog.
Well, she is. She does love all of this, you know. She loves being a doggy radio co-host with her best friend, Matilda, her bulldog.
Anna, Molly, thank you both.
Thank you very much.
Let's see, 9:49.